This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Thursday, May 26, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From the New York Times, Russia-Ukraine war summary. At least 200 bodies have been found in the basement of a bombed apartment building in Mariupol. The U.S. has banned Russia from paying its debts using American banks and a loophole that was recently closed, which increases Russia's chance of defaulting on at least some of their international debts in the near future. And Russia and China held a joint military exercise near Japan during U.S. President Biden's visit to Japan. Russian forces are reportedly close to surrounding the Ukrainian city Severodonetsk, which has become a key focal point for the conflict in the eastern Donbas region, and which Russia has been hitting hard in recent weeks, as part of an attempt to capture it and wipe out local Ukrainian forces who are based there and who have been preventing Russian progress in the area. From the Associated Press, 19 children, 2 adults killed in Texas school rampage. An investigation is ongoing as to the motives behind a school shooting perpetrated by an 18-year-old man at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, on Tuesday. But 19 children and 2 adults have been confirmed as having been killed during the attack so far. This is the 2nd deadliest school shooting in U.S. history, the 27th school shooting in the U.S. this year so far, and the 212th mass shooting of any kind in the U.S. so far in 2022. It came 10 days after the last major U.S. mass shooting at a grocery store in Buffalo, and would seem to be part of a continuing trend of escalating mass shootings in the country, as there were 693 mass shootings in the U.S. in 2021 and 611 in 2020. The shooter, in this case, was eventually shot by a Border Patrol tactical unit that responded to the shooting, but a police officer who saw him walk into the school with his rifle before the massacre exchanged gunfire with him, but was unable to prevent him from entering the school and barricading himself inside with students and teachers. And from the Wall Street Journal, Pfizer to sell vaccines and drugs at low prices to poorer countries. Pfizer, the pharmaceutical company behind one of the most successful mRNA-based vaccines for COVID-19, has announced that it will sell 23 of its products at cost, so with 0 profits, to 45 poorer countries. This newly announced program will begin in Ghana, Malawi, Rwanda, Senegal, and Uganda before opening up to other nations, and the company has said it will also work with these governments to help ameliorate infrastructural issues that have historically made disseminating drugs and treatments to the people who need them most difficult or impossible. Pfizer has made hefty profits during the pandemic from their vaccine and COVID treatments, and this is being seen by some as a relatively inexpensive PR effort, allowing them to build out potential new markets while also showing global regulators that they aren't pocketing all the profits they've made from their COVID-era offerings. Some experts have said that while this is a welcome announcement, it may also unintentionally disincentivize generic drug makers from operating in these regions, which could stifle future pharmaceutical investments and development in the region. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.